Hello everyone. In today's video, we will discuss about the mind, the human mind, a fertile soil where seeds of thought grow. The human mind is an extraordinary entity, a boundless expanse of potential and power. It is a fertile soil, rich and ready to nurture whatever seeds that are planted within it. The concept that whatever seed you sow is what you reap encapsulates a universal truth that governs not only our individual lives but also the collective experiences of humanity. The thoughts, beliefs, and ideas we plant in the soil of our minds shape our realities, influence our actions, and determine the course of our lives. This profound truth has been echoed across cultures and philosophies, underscoring the immense responsibility we bear in tending to the garden of our minds. The nature of the mind as fertile soil. To understand the mind as fertile soil, we must first consider its inherent characteristics. The mind is a dynamic, ever-changing entity capable of absorbing and processing vast amounts of information. It is not static repository but a living, breathing ecosystem constantly interacting with the environment, absorbing stimuli and generating thoughts. Like soil, the mind has layers. Some parts are more fertile and receptive, while others may be barren or resistant to growth. However, with care and attention, even the most desolate mental landscapes can be transformed into thriving gardens. The mind's fertility lies in its ability to grow and nurture whatever is planted within. Thoughts, like seeds, have a potential to grow into beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. When we plant positive, constructive thoughts in our minds, we cultivate a garden of growth, happiness, and fulfillment. Conversely, when we allow negative, destructive thoughts to take root, we cultivate a landscape of fear, doubt, and despair. The mind does not discriminate between the seeds it is given. It simply nurtures them, allow them to grow and bear fruit. The seeds we sow in our minds are the thoughts and ideas we choose to focus on. These thoughts can be influenced by our environment, our upbringing, our experiences, and our interactions with others. However, we also have the power to consciously choose the seeds we plant. This choice is crucial as it determines the nature of the garden we cultivate in our minds. Positive seeds are those thoughts and beliefs that encourage growth, well-being, and success. These seeds include ideas of self-worth, optimism, love, compassion, and resilience. When we plant these seeds, we create a mental environment that supports our aspirations and enhances our quality of life. For example, a person who believes in their ability to succeed is more likely to take risks, pursue opportunities, and persevere in the face of challenges. This belief acts as a further ground for the growth of confidence and achievement. On the other hand, negative seeds are those thoughts and beliefs that hinder growth and well-being. These seeds include ideas of self-doubt, fear, resentment, and pessimism. When we allow these seeds to take root in our minds, we can grow into debilitating patterns of thought that limit our potential and diminish our happiness. For instance, a person who constantly doubts their abilities may avoid challenges, miss opportunities, and ultimately feel unfulfilled. This negative belief system creates a mental environment that stifles growth and leads to a life of stagnation. The harvest, reaping what we sow. The principle of reaping what we sow is a fundamental law of the mind. Just as farmer reaps and crops that grow from seeds they plant, we reap the outcomes of the thoughts we cultivate. If we sow seeds of positivity, we harvest a life of joy, fulfillment, and success. If we sow seeds of negativity, we harvest a life of struggle, dissatisfaction, and regret. This principle is evident in all areas of life. Consider relationships. For example, when we plant seeds of trust, respect, and love in our relationships, we cultivate strong, supportive, and fulfilling connections with others. However, if we plant seeds of mistrust, resentment, and selfishness, we create relationships that are fraught with conflict, tension, and unhappiness. The quality of our relationships is directly proportional to the seeds we sow in them. The same principle applies to our personal development and success. If we plant seeds of perseverance, discipline, and a positive attitude, we cultivate a life of continuous growth and achievement. However, if we plant seeds of laziness, procrastination, and negative mindset, we reap a life of missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. The harvest we reap in our lives is a direct reflection of the thoughts. The same principle applies to our personal development and success. If we plant seeds of perseverance, discipline, and a positive attitude, we cultivate a life of continuous growth and achievement. However, if we plant seeds of laziness, procrastination, and negative mindset, we reap a life of missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. The harvest we reap in our lives is a direct reflection of our thoughts and beliefs we nurture in our minds. The power of mindful sowing, giving a profound impact of the thoughts we cultivate. It is essential to be mindful of the seeds we plant in our minds. Mindfulness involves being aware of our thoughts and consciously choosing which ones to nurture and which one to discard. It is the practice to tending to the garden of our minds with care, ensuring that only the seeds that will produce a bountiful harvest are allowed to take root. Mindful sowing begins with self-awareness. We must first become aware of the thoughts that occupy our minds and the beliefs that guide our actions. This awareness allows us to identify any negative or destructive seeds that may have taken root. Once identified, we can give the process of weeding out these negative thoughts and replacing them with positive, constructive ones. One powerful way to plant positive seeds in our minds is through affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that reinforce constructive beliefs and attitudes. By regularly repeating affirmations, we can reprogram our minds to focus on positive thoughts and beliefs. For example, an affirmation such as "I'm capable of achieving my goals" can help to cultivate a mindset of confidence and determination, leading to greater success and fulfillment. Another effective way to cultivate a positive mental garden is through visualization. Visualization involves creating mental images of the outcomes we desire. By vividly imagining ourselves achieving our goals and can plant seeds of success and motivation in our minds. This practice helps to align our thoughts and actions with the desired outcomes, increasing the likelihood of success. The role of the gardener nurturing the mind. As the gardeners of our minds, we have the responsibility to nurture the seeds we plant. This involves regular mental and emotional maintenance, much like tending to a physical garden. Just as gardeners waters, fertilize, and prunes their plants, we must nourish our minds with positive thoughts, reinforce our beliefs and supportive evidence, and eliminate any negative influences that threaten to overtake our mental garden. This nurturing process requires patience and persistence, such as plants take time to grow and bear fruit. The seeds we plant in our minds also take time to manifest in our lives. It's important to remain patient and consistent in our efforts, trusting that the positive seeds we sow will eventually yield a bountiful harvest. In conclusion, the mind as a source of infinite potential. The mind as fertile soil holds infinite potential. The seeds we choose to plant within it, whether positive or negative, determine the quality of our lives. By understanding the power of our thoughts and beliefs, we can take control of our mental garden and cultivate a life of growth, fulfillment, and success. The principle of whatever seed we sow is what we reap serves as a reminder of a profound impact of our thoughts on our reality. It encourages us to be mindful of seeds we plant and to take responsibility for the harvest we ultimately reap. In this way, we can harness the power of our minds to create a life that is rich, abundant, and full of possibility. If you would like to buy my book, A Road to Wealth and Happiness and The Secret to Success, please click on the website below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and I hope you like my video. Please subscribe, give it a thumb up, like to support my channel.